Hello everybody. I would like to demonstrate how to use e-invoicing solution for your business in this video. I will offer a brief overview of this software before I get started. E-invoicing solution is a standalone program that was created especially for the Zatca e-invoicing system in Saudi Arabia. It has been thoroughly tested and implemented. It has a multifunctional features includes the ability to create invoices manually, import invoice data from Excel, call RESTful APIs to generate invoices. The same functionality extends to credit and debit notes. Also, other features include that the ability to clear and report e-invoices to the Zatca portal, as well as it will generate a QR code and signed and unsigned XML files that are compatible with the Zatca e-invoicing gateway for the KSA. I have divided into multiple sections, and the first section is we need to create a CSID. If we want to generate cryptographic stamp identifiers, we should have a CSR certificate. Once we provide the necessary information to the system will generate for you CSR certificate and one private key. Using the CSR certificate and private key, the system will again generate for you one public key as well as one secret key. And another section is creating a e-invoicing, and the next section is import data from Excel. The other one is import data from APIs, and the last but not the least, submit to Zatca portal. Okay, now let us see how to create a CSID certificate. This is the CSID certificate generation screen. Here we need to provide a company information as we specified format. The first one is common name for the device or the EGS unit. Second one is serial number and organization identity, which will start and ends with 3, organization unit name, organization name, and location of the company and industry and country. The next, choose the invoice type. Is it standard invoice or simplified invoice or standard or simplified both? Standard invoice, it means it is a B2B. Simplified invoice, it means it is a B2C. Standard and simplified invoice, it means both of above. And the certificate mode you are going to create for compliance or simulation or production. Completion is for the developer purpose and OTP is not a mandatory, but simulation and production OTP is the mandatory, which is indicates 1 2 3 4 5 6 there. It is a 6 digits OTP. You can get this OTP from the Zatca portal. For the testing purpose, when you choose the compliance, you can choose any 6 digits character. Also, if you want to get any help, you can click on the help button. You can get the help about that specific column. Then click on the new CSR button. Once you click on CSR button, you will have certificate and private key text boxes. So these information, save it as a text files. It will be useful for future invoicing creation purpose. The next, once you create new CSID, you will have a public key and private secret key. Also save it. It will be helpful to submit the invoice to the portal. Once you complete all this information and generating CSR and CSID, you can start the e-invoicing generation. Before that, just I want to remind you one point. Submit mode, if you choose a simulation or production and you register your EGS unit, in that case you can log in your Zatca portal. There the registered EGS unit you will see as shown in the screen. The information you can find in the down: common name, serial number, VAT number, etc. If you found any information is wrong, then you can go to revoke CSID, select the option and you can cancel the CSID and you can regenerate CSID as the same previous step. The next step is we need to create the e-invoice. If we want to create a e-invoice, we need to have a seller information, buyer information also. So seller information, you will see here the registration number and schema ID and tax number and registration name, so and so the information we need to provide. Once you create a seller information master, we need to provide a buyer information. Buyer information, in this B2C case it is not mandatory, but B2B case it is mandatory. And fill all the information in B2B case. Once the buyer and seller information it is ready, then we will move to invoice. This is the e-invoicing methods. Once we move to the invoicing screen, we have a ability to create standard invoice and debit note and credit note. This is the invoicing screen. The seller information and the buyer information, it will take it automatically, which we feed the information in my previous screens. And invoice ID, invoice issue date, delivery date, and invoice type, invoice name, it is standard invoice or simplified invoice, and invoice counter. And line items, product name, price and quantity. Where it indicates the background color is gray, it is system calculated. And tax type, standard tax or zero rated, vice versa. Once you create this invoice, just click on send button or save button. This screen, basically it is the key point for all the invoices, either the tax invoice or credit note or debit notes. Also, you can create a standard invoice or the simplified invoice. All the validations for headers and line items, it is included in the system. Once you create your invoice here, you have option to save and send. If you send to the Zatca portal directly and portal response, you will see it in invoice status. Either it's cleared or reported or any errors if there is. And line items, you will see the tax, all the tax category codes and discount category codes. Also, you have an option to create a PDF and send to the customer directly from here. This time we will move to importing a data from Excel sheets. Okay, this time we will understand how to get data from an Excel sheet. In the Excel sheet, create a 3 sheets in your workbook, and sheet number 1 have invoice header information, sheet number 2 have invoice details information, and sheet number 3 have party information, I mean buyer and seller information as we provided on the screen. And color columns are key columns. It should not be duplicate. Once you prepare your template, it looks like this. This is your final output template. Once you prepare your invoice template, open the system and open the screen for import Excel. Choose your Excel file. Click on read Excel sheet. It will read your Excel sheet's invoice header and invoice details as well as party header and detail information. Then click on generate invoice. Once you click on generate invoice, the system will prepare e-invoice format for your Excel data. This time we will understand how to get data from REST APIs. If you have already a web service and it contains web API's e-invoice information, open the system and open the screen for consume web services. Select the method post or get. If you have a post method with body parameter, you can post the body parameter in the text box and enter the URL path. Click on call button. Once you click on the call button, the response will be loaded into the text box. And once you click on the save button, it will generate the e-invoice form and it will save it in the database. Okay, now we are ready to submit our invoice to the portal. Before I am going to next step, let me give a brief about our invoice. First, we created manual invoices, and second method we imported data from Excel. Third method we use REST APIs. All the data it will be stay in our system in one place. And open the system. Open the screen for invoice options. Here you will see the multiple options. If you want to submit as a developer mode or the complaints, choose the complaints. If you want to go for simulation method, choose the simulation option. If you want to submit as a final in the production, you can choose the production method. All your invoices you will see in this list, where you can see the invoice details table. The invoice details, the upper part it will show as a invoice header and the down it will show as a invoice details. Once you select invoice header, the related invoice details will be filtered in the details part. The next left side you will see XML document. Here you have multiple options. The one generate, sign XML, generate and sign XML, send, sign and send, generate and sign and send. It means if you choose the option generate, the system will generate only the XML file, it called unsigned XML. If you choose sign XML, it means the system will use your certificates along with your invoice data and it will sign. In this scenario, the system will generate unsigned XML and signed XML. Third option, generate and sign. If you choose this third option, that means the system once in one click it will generate XML and it will sign. In the same way, you can send the invoice directly or sign and send. The last option is the one click. Once you choose the last option, generate and sign, that means the system it will generate XML and it will sign and it will send. Once it's sent to the portal, the response will be displayed in the next tab, invoice response. There you can see all the information about this invoice header. If it is successful submission to the portal, either it is cleared or reported, the QR code will be appear there. All the data you can download or you can save it in your database. This is the invoice response messages, and this response messages you can save in your database, or you can open the XML folder also. Here now you need to provide the certificate file path where you saved in the screen 1, and private key file path, CSID file path, and secret key file path. Now this is the time to move for demo.